What I learned about world population growth was that the population of the planet is growing exponentially at a rate faster and faster in the last 100 years.
Something else that's important to know is also here in Middletown is that the population is constantly growing more than it did around 13, 14 years ago. And so it's really important that we understand these things so we can adapt to new conditions in our everyday lives.
The population is also causing problems around the world.
It's affecting resources that animals and humans need to use.
What I learned is that in less fortunate countries, the population grows faster.
That it has a big impact on the food, water, and animals in our society.
Our population has increased a lot in the past century. It's hurting a lot of countries' economy because they're losing a lot of resources and don't have a way to trade or make money.
One thing I learned about research and writing was that you want to go through many websites so you don't get one answer, you get many.
One thing I learned about writing is that we use arms and cups. They're abbreviations for different things we can use to check other people's writing and our own.
I learned how to properly format my MLA citations.
When you look at a source, you really have to make sure it's reliable because sometimes they give you the wrong information.
And it helps. I learned how to organize my writing better and organize the sources that I got.
I learned new skills like how you could split the screen so you could take notes while looking at the information from a website.
I learned that you could copy your writing and then put it into Google Translate so you could hear it back.
I don't know. I learned how to use data more effectively in research.
I learned how to cite my evidence.
I learned how to take better notes because I'm awful. I'm an awful note taker.
When we were doing research and writing, it is always important to do citations and make sure you get every single source so your data can be more accurate and it can be proven with your backup information.
Also, make sure to use a verified source at any time.
I liked Google Docs and Google Slides because then we could be working at different computers, but we could be seeing what each other was doing.
And also, we could work on it from home if we didn't do it at school.
One thing I liked about the way the project was set up was that we already had our partners for Google Docs and Slides, so we didn't have to type in their emails by ourselves.
One thing I liked about the setup was that it was very easy to get to and you can log on from home, and so if you forgot to do something in class you could go home and work on it and all of your partners in the folder would get it too.
I like that the websites were already Ms. Scott and Ms. Landrowski picked out because then you didn't have to search for all these websites and spending time on them.
I like that everyone could work on it at one time and no one was left out.
I like that we didn't have to yell at the one person who was typing so that we could get our thoughts heard.
It was much faster if we all worked down the same page at the same time so we could get it done by the time it was due.
Everything's always saved on Google, so you don't have to
keep
saving it or be sad about if you don't save it.
I liked how we were able to work together right away on the Google Docs. That way we could all add at the same time.
I really liked how in most group projects there are times where you have to work individually, but in this case we all could work collaboratively and as a team, and that's why I think all of us and everybody in Ms. Landrowski's class could succeed.
I liked how we got sources to start with, but we were also able to look up our own sources.
One thing I struggled with was I came a day late when we started the project, and I didn't really know what we were doing, and I didn't know what part I was assigned to, and it was really helpful because I could just go into Google Docs and it would already be there and I could read what everyone else did.